Hey there everybody, I'm Reload and I am going to the rogue drone sites using my Caldari Alpha clone. These rogue swarm lairs are the event sites for the brand new arms race release. These once again will drop some cerebral accelerators to help you train faster, some very lucrative boosters, as well as some random items and the glacial drift skins. These are accessible by all sorts of ships, but I highly recommend using long-range cruisers. Alright, so I'm jumping into the Rogue Swarm lair at 50 kilometers because we are going to be keeping our range away from the drones. I have used Vexers in a past event for the Alpha clones, and you can see the video linked at the end. That was for the Blood Raiders. This time around I wanted to use something different, so I decided to load up my Caldari Alpha clone and use up the Caracal. Of course, now it doesn't really matter which alpha clone you use. With the Caldari, Minmatar, Galenti, you can train for any ship that you would like. I am in a system with another person and I am doing these in low sec, but I believe that other person is actually just scanning the system, so I am not worried. And these are not combat probes, so that I will be able to notice if somebody warps in on me. If there's a combat probes, then I'll be a little bit more worried, but at the same time it doesn't really matter since the rogue swarm lairs are a beacon on the map, so anybody would just show up. And actually, I just realized my overview is not set up correctly. Okay, and it's really annoying right now with the cap. I'm gonna stop using one of my shield hardeners just so I can regain some cap. In the meantime, let me quickly fix up my overview settings. I'm not sure exactly what happened here. I don't want to see anything here except for ships, entities, and I do want to see what's going on here. I want to see the scanner probes. I do want to see the NPCs as well. So is the pirate? Alright, cool, yeah. These are considered pirate NPCs. Excellent. And what happened here is that it appears I have triggered the little drones to appear on my overview here. Oh sweet, more points. Now there's a lot of stuff happening. I don't really want to see these ships, so can I remove that? Yeah. I don't know, remove from our view, and then we're gonna rescan. So, I was concentrating a little bit too much on the directional scanner here, but what happened is that the little drones appeared, and I have to get rid of them, because otherwise they will be a bit of a menace. I'm not sure how well my tank will hold up. This is my first time using the Alpha clone for these sites. I didn't have too much trouble using my Tactical Destroyer, but of course Tactical Destroyer will be able to tank a lot better than a cruiser for the Alpha clone. So let me slowly try to free up the field from these annoying little drones. Now my maximum flight time is only 44 kilometers on these missiles, so I'll have to wait for these drones to come closer. In the meantime, I think it's safe to actually trigger the next wave. So I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the last rogue drone here. So it looks like everybody's way far away from me, actually beyond my missile capabilities at this time. So I'm gonna cautiously, very cautiously try to approach them, perhaps, maybe change my direction, just so that they have an easier time catching up, meaning that I'll be able to target them and destroy them faster. And there comes another wave. It's not really a wave, and I'm still not sure whether these are triggered by proximity to a certain structure or just a random trigger. In any case, they don't pose much threat as long as you keep them at range, and that's part of the reason why I decided to go with the Caracal as well. I mean, the Vexer would work out quite well in this case too, but I wanted to mix it up. And actually, if your Caldari Alpha Clone is trained for drones, then you can have additional true drones to help you fight everything on grid here. But my current clone does not have those skills trained up, so I am limited to having just the missiles and no additional drones to help me out. The maximum amount of waves that I have encountered for the little drones is, I believe, 3 so far. And I think in this site in particular I just triggered 2 of them, so there may be 1 more coming. For the Alpha Clone, this is going to be a rather long and arduous process because currently I have only 78 DPS that is available to me on this Caracal. That means this site will take a lot longer to complete than otherwise. I tried setting up a Cormorant fit, which is the destroyer, that had a lot more DPS available to it, but I found that the tank was just not enough to sustain all the incoming damage from all the drones. That's why I highly recommend that if you do these sites as an Alpha Clone, that you go with a cruiser. There's plenty of tank and hopefully enough DPS to run these faster. And here comes the next wave. We don't have the Overmind yet, meaning that there's at least 3 more waves incoming, at least the ones that will be dropping some loot. And here we go, that's the 3rd and hopefully final spawn of the little drones, but they're way too far away, so I'm not even gonna worry about them. Okay, I see 2 herons on D-scan, meaning they are explorers, so I'm not worried. And let's get a little bit closer to all the action so that I'll be able to finish off this site a little faster. The longer I hang around in low sec, the higher chance is somebody will stumble upon the site and get me killed. The good news is that the first several waves of drones is rather easy to kill. It's 1 to 2 volleys and they're down. After that, the drones are going to be a little bit tougher to actually destroy. So now the drones are getting closer and closer, I am going to activate my adaptive invulnerability field just for that extra defense against the incoming DPS. But so far, my shield is holding up pretty well. They are barely targeting and getting through my shield. I mean, they are targeting me, that's for sure. So what I have done with this fit here, and I'm going to show you, is that I installed the limited EM ward field, the limited thermal dissipation field, and the limited adaptive invulnerability field. So what that lets me have is all the excellent resistances across the board. So everything except for the kinetic is actually above 60. That means I can resist that damage really well across all the spectrum of possible damage that can be coming from the drones. Of course, the trade-off in this case is the fact that I am not cap stable. And I do have the Microwarpdrive installed as well. That will help me get a quick boost of speed if I need to gain distance away from all the incoming damage. That's my personal preference in how I like to deal with enemies when I am using more of a long-range bow. But of course it's up to you to discover whether that's what you prefer or not. Currently I don't have the Microwarpdrive enabled, of course, there's no need to. In fact, I am staying quite a long distance away from everything. And it is rather impeding me at this point in time because I can't destroy drones fast enough. But at the same time, I don't really want to get into trouble where I do have to bail out. So with this fit, I'm kind of going to pace myself, and this is the first time running this site with this particular fit with this clone. So I'm not really sure exactly what it is capable of. But I am slowly but surely getting rid of all the pesky little drones from the grid. So if they do catch up to me, it's not gonna be a problem because they're not gonna be there. But if you don't target them and you let them get close to you, then it could be a death by 1,000 little cuts, because they will sting. They will just surround you and you may not have enough time to really destroy all of them before they get through your shield. And the thing about Caracal is that it is a shield tanking boat, and the moment your shield is down, the rest of you is just paper tank. So you really have to maintain your shield at a sufficient level. Alright, let's go back to finally destroying the proper rogue drones. And this swarm over my terminus right here, hopefully will have some sort of a loot drop here. Usually there's something, but depends on what it is. A lot of times it's just useless alloys that don't really give you that much ISK. But a few times that I ran these sites, you get a very nice booster that can be worth up to 11 million. So we'll see what drops this time. And there is the wreck, so let's get close to it. Alright, here we go. That's a huge wave. Lots and lots of drones to destroy. And it's a good thing that I was keeping my distance. That means I'll have a good chance of destroying these guys. And let me reload the missiles right now before it gets a little bit hairy here. And let's check out what's in this wreck. Alright, we got drone cerebral fragment, which is worth not really that much, you know. Yeah, but I'll still take it. Of course, I'll place it in my cargo hold. In the meantime, where is the bulk of ships? Okay, there they are. I'm gonna start flying right this way. Let them get a little closer to me, so I can start picking them off. So once again, anything within 44 kilometers is good range for me. Anything outside of it and my missiles will just fall short. Okay, so I'm gonna disable my invulnerability field and let my cap build up again, because I am not getting that much damage from anything right now. And I'm starting to target closer drones. These frigate drones are a lot faster than the other ones, so they will get close to me faster. And I will need to pick them off the field. Using missiles for these sort of sites is definitely easy, especially since you can tailor the damage exactly to what you want, which in this case is EM damage, so I do have my Mjolnir missiles loaded up. But at the same time, the damage is not as great as it could be with other weapons. If you are trained for the Caldari Alpha clone, you could go with hybrid weapons as well. But in my experience, the other cruiser called Moa that can use hybrid weapons, it's not that great at running these sites, particularly because it doesn't get any bonuses to tracking these little drones. You do have more damage that you can apply, but it's just not applied because your turrets simply can't track your target fast enough. And as you can see, my shield is getting more damage right now. My automatic passive shield recharger is working quite well. The shields are not dropping past 70% yet, and especially right now I get rid of another drone from the grid, so I should be able to start recharging. If I want to at this point in time, I could engage my invulnerability field, and that would let me tank the damage even better. So my shield is dropping a little bit faster and faster now. Let me see if this will help. And if things start getting really difficult, like for example, let's say my shield drops to less than 50%, I will engage my Microwarpdrive and get some distance away from this last swarm over mine Tertius drone. And here we go, this is the last spawn that we have here. Oh, look at that, we got the Vexor Navy issue, Glacial Drift Skin, and some precious alloy. So let's loot that up. This is who you want to get, the Swarm Overmind Primus. That is the shit that's supposed to carry the most valuable loot, but that's not always the case. And at this point, I think I will target the Swarm Overmind Primus as my primary. And I will be avoiding all the other drones, because really they're not necessary to me at all. There's no more waves after this, there's no more spawns after this, so it doesn't matter. If you want to go after the bounties, you're more than welcome to, but they're not that high. I mean, at most you will get 37,000 ISK, which really isn't that much of a sum. The only thing is that I have to be able to tank all the damage that will be coming towards me as I'm trying to loot the wreck. And also this fight right here is the one that will last a little bit longer than all the previous ones, because this is a battleship. It is very well tanked, and I do have only 78 DPS that I can output right now. Then in case we are in range, let's find out. Let's find out what's inside. And there goes my alarm for the shield, so I'm thinking of changing my tactics here a little bit and actually going after the little cruisers and frigates as well. But also the battleship is almost popped too. It's a very precarious position because I am quickly losing my shield here. So let's see if I can outdo this. Let's see. Maybe I should have maintained my distance a little bit longer. That way I wouldn't have to deal with all the damage incoming towards me. So if I was to rerun this site, I definitely would have kept my distance on the very final wave, so that the small frigates don't catch up to me. And I have only 4 volleys remaining. Let's see if that's going to be enough to destroy the final battleship. Oh no, right at the last moment, just probably need 1 or 2 more volleys, that's about it. That should settle it. But good thing is that I'm not using the rapid light missiles, so the reload time was quite fast, and looks like the battleship is actually stuck here on the structure. Hilarious. Usually that happens to me, but good to see an NPC getting stuck as well. There we go. Look at that spin. That looks so awesome. It's still stuck on the structure. That looks pretty cool though. Quite enjoyed that. Alright, so now we can drop our shield hardeners, let our cap recharge a little bit, and let's see what was in the wreck. And looks like I fell victim to the same thing as the Overmind Terminus there. Okay, so what do we have here? The damaged ancient peg, which I'm not sure how much it's worth. Maybe you sell it on the, not in the market, but on the contracts. Then we have the agency overclocker dose. What it does is that it gives plus 3% max velocity for 30 minutes. The estimated price is about $500,000, and then we do have the Rogue Swarm Cerebral Accelerator, which will accelerate your training by 12 points. Each of the Charisma, Intelligence, Memory, Perception, and Willpower modifiers will be upped by 12 points. Now this thing is not sold on the market either, but you can sell it through contracts, and I believe this one is going to last until January 30th of next year, so there's a lot of time to use these up. I believe the Blood Raider ones were a little bit short in duration for that. So we didn't get any expensive drops here for the boosters, But in my stream that I'm going to link once again at the end of the video, we did get one that was 8 million and the other one that was 11 million. So these sites certainly can be lucrative, especially for an alpha clone. Any cruiser should do. The DPS incoming is not that bad. I think you should be able to tank it no problem. Your own DPS though, make sure you can maximize it, because tanking should not be that much of a problem as DPS. The higher DPS you have, the faster you can actually run these sites, and if you're in high sec you'll be able to contest them better, and I mean if you're in low sec you don't want to stick around in one spot for too long. And definitely try to go to low sec, don't be too afraid of it, just find a nice quiet spot like I did right here. I actually didn't pick up the loot, let me go back and do that. In low sec you have a higher chance of getting the final battleship spawn. In high sec likely you will end just at the simple Overmind Tertius there that we took a look at the loot before. And yes, also we got the Navy issue Bexar Glacial Drift Skin. Let's see how much it may cost. There's no orders right now. Oh, actually, you know what, never mind. You can actually sell it for 42.4 million. There we go. If I sell this skin right now, it pays almost twice, if not 3 times, for what I paid for this ship. So yes, go out there, go through these sites, have fun. They are going to end in about 6 days, I believe. Let's take a look at the agency window to find out. Yes, as of making of this video, we have about 4.5 days left before all of them are over. So act now and get some loot. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Reload, and fly safe out there.